The United States of America just broke a brand new record, and we are officially $38 trillion in debt. Congratulations, you all. We have officially made it. In addition to that, we're starting to see some different types of sentiment with the market. When we had the massive liquidation event of the $20 billion, we have altcoins really necessarily have not recovered, which it is what it is. It's okay. Unfortunately, that's the way it works. Also, with that being said, a lot of crypto stocks are doing great, not doing great. So we're going to talk about the current state of the market. We're going to talk about the $38 trillion we're in. We might talk a little bit about quantum computing if we have enough time. If not, I'm going to go ahead and make another video on YouTube for you guys at the 2 p.m. slot, talk about market price action. But we do have some good altcoin updates as far as hedera. We finally got the announcement. Hype, Sol, Avalanche, and a couple other ones. Somebody on X had asked me, they're like, hey, Wendy, are you still bullish on Avalanche? Yeah, I'm holding. I'm hoping we get that at least that $100 avalanche at some point at this cycle. But let's go ahead and get into it, talk about what's happening to the market, and, just kind of focus on the news, because there's really nothing we could do. And no to the YouTube chat, we're not all shorting the market. We're not doing that. We don't do coordinated events like this on this channel just because it's not something I like at all. If you guys do want to use leverage, I've got a plethora of leverage ref links down below, and you guys can go ahead and get liquidated, and I can collect those fees, get a little bit of commission. But again, if you want to use leverage, it's only for experienced traders, okay? Only for experienced traders. People like Gamer. He knows what he's doing. He's a big boy, all right? Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the channel members. Welcome back to the O Show. Everything crypto every single day. 10:30 a.m. PT. We're on YouTube, Rumble, X, Twitch, TikTok. Where aren't we? We're literally everywhere. Now, with that being said, a way I'm giving shout outs on the channel is you have to be a channel member either on YouTube or on X. If you're not, unfortunately, I can't say hi to everybody. But good morning to Mr. R, to Mr. Legend, to Timp. Good morning to gorgeous Alexandra. She sent 5 gift memberships for the O Show. Aha, baby. Byron got one. XRP Poncharella got one. I hope that's not a bad word in Spanish. Aloha J, Chris Carpenter, Stephen Young. And what else? Thank you so much, Alexandra. I appreciate it. Thank you so much to Tim for the $20 super chat. I greatly, greatly appreciate that. That helps me and Lo. I actually do want to get a delicious blueberry pancake breakfast with two eggs, over easy. And I also would like to get some sort of pork with that, but I might just make it at home and save some money because I've got the protein pancakes in the freezer. But yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys so much. Either way, Lo and I are going to have an epic time this weekend. Shout out to Mr. R for showing up. Lawrence, of course. Eric Salazar, welcome to the O Army. Lawrence said, I haven't been called Larry in a long time. Was wondering if you're first time. Good morning to Mr. D. Thank you so much, Lawrence, for the $10 super chat, and to Mr. Legend, Mr. Lawrence again for the $5 super chat. Tim sent another $20 super chat. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. Good morning to Cali Crypto. Crypto Rick is here. Maybe 99,000, but under 100,000 will get eaten by institutions. We do have a poll at the top on YouTube. Will we see sub 100,000 before? 100,000 Bitcoin before 200,000. We'll kind of have to see what happens with that. I'm just chilling here. I'm waiting for that $1 million Bitcoin. Why? Because that's what I'm waiting for. I'm going to retire off of that. Buy some land. Adopt a bunch of people, a bunch of things. What's going on over here? Okay. Baby daddy needs something, which we'll get to that later. Let's see. All right. Let's go ahead and get straight into the news. And again, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Let's get it. Shout out to London. I might be going to London. Also, too, if you are from the UK, London, I would like to visit all of the punk rock historic places. That's where I want to go because that's where punk came from, really. And it's always very interesting to kind of look at history, music history, because it does play into a lot of what's going on today. But I always loved how punk rock started and the reason why it started. And unfortunately, it's been tainted with a lot of not correct septum rings. I like septum rings. I think they're sexy on some men. I think they're pretty on some girls. But unfortunately, that whole genre, that whole culture has been hijacked. I don't like it. But anyways, let's get into the news. So national debt surpasses $38 trillion milestone for the first time in history. Well, of course, because we've got crazy levels of inflation. In addition to that, the US dollar is not worth what it was. If you guys don't know, the national debt is money the government owes to a mix of creditors, which includes other countries, private investors, and domestic institutions, because we run the United States of America like a bank. People in this article here, it says debt's rising due to aging population, higher Social Security and Medicare costs, and increased interest expenses. The federal budget deficit was about $1.8 trillion in the last fiscal year and expected to increase. Federal budget deficit is when the government spends more money than it collects in revenue. Annual deficits could reach $2.6 trillion by 2035, adding $22.7 trillion to the debt over the next decade. I'm not going to go over all the other stats, primarily because I really don't care. It doesn't matter what we do. We just kind of got to hedge against that, hedge against the insanity, really. And we can do that with gold. We can do that with Bitcoin, and we can do that with land. Land is one of those assets that's not really talked about enough. And, yeah, I do know, Lawrence. Yeah, it is a thing. That is a thing. I did grow up in a kung fu studio. But realistically, I feel like land is not talked about enough. I feel like it's not talked about enough. I actually know a medical professional who has a septum ring, and they are the most like straight down the middle, and all they care about is providing the best care to their kids. That's it. That's all they care about. They just want to give the baby services. You can't always judge a book by its cover. But with that being said, a lot of people don't think it's a good idea to pay land off to actually own land, because essentially you don't really own it, but you kind of do. I think land is one of the best investments, and I think paying off properties is one of the best investments. There's some people that are like, oh, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do what you want to do. But I think that I think that owning land is great. Yeah, you have to pay property taxes. Yeah, you have to buy insurance, those types of things. That's where it is anywhere. You're not going to be able to buy land and just own it anywhere. That's not how that works. But at the end of the day, I think that that's a more secure investment. But that's just my opinion. No worries, Tim. That's your opinion. You can have your opinion. I don't mind. If you guys disagree with me on the show, just as long as you come correct and you showcase decency, we can disagree all day long. But one of the things that I've learned in life is that you never really judge a book by its cover. And I learned that working in healthcare. Also, too, people like, oh, tattooed women, blah, blah, blah. But the thing is I actually like that I have tattoos, and I like all the negative commentary about it, primarily because people always make assumptions about other people. And anybody that has a negative aspect, like, you might not be attracted to women with tattoos, and that's fine. You don't have to be. But if you make a general assumption about a group of people without having, actually knowing that individual, you're not somebody I really want to be around. Like, if you make a generalized statement, I just don't want to be around you. Then you're not somebody that I would want, But people will say what they're going to say, and it's life. Now, next story over here. So, crypto stocks, what's going on? Crypto stocks plunge Wednesday, with Galaxy Bitcoin miners leading the decline. We've got some more Galaxy stuff coming up too. But really the ones that took the biggest hit were Bitcoin miners that are pivoting to AI. Those dumped yesterday. Galaxy Digital fell 15%, wiping out recent earning gains. Miners like Bitfarms, CIPHER Mining, Hut 8, and Hive dropped between 10 and 15%. That's kind of a lot for stocks. We're talking about stocks. Strategy, Coinbase, Robinhood, Bullish, and Back were also down. Tickers for those: Mastercoin, Hood, Bullish, and Back. I remember the whole Back narrative, like way back in the day, 2018. Back's going to save this, and they're barely like holding on. And then we do have a prediction here from Mr. Mike Novogratz. He says Bitcoin will likely stay between 120 to 125,000 by year end. And I actually do agree with this prediction to an extent. To an extent. Again, I don't really do a whole lot of price action calling anymore. The reason why is, well, that's nice. But the reason why I think that we might just kind of see this price action do what it's going to do and just kind of chill is because, number one, we don't have the approval of the spot ETFs. That's not done yet. So when you don't have when you don't have liquidity being able to come into the market, how is it going to go up? When will it go up? So we might just kind of see that happen. We might kind of see everything prolonged. It is what it is. I mean, this is why you make adjustments to your trading and investing portfolio. Either way, I think Bitcoin will be fine long term, but it's going to be a long wait game. Long wait game. I read the comments. I see what you guys are saying about different things, and you're going to have to be patient. You're going to have to hold on, man. I mean, people are calling for like gold to all this crazy stuff with gold to happen. And we did get that nice little pullback. We almost hit our little support line here at 3,900. But we actually hit 4,000 and we're back on our way up, even though we still are we are pretty overbought. Take a look at market cipher at the bottom here. You see that nice uptick cloud. So we'll see how high we go. Also, if you guys want to trade with me on Kraken, they're partners of the show. We've got the QR code up there, the ref link down below. If you deposit $100 in trade, you get $25 of XRP. They're also matching up to 2% of all deposits. And what else are they doing? Yeah, they're just, I use them and I haven't had issues with them. Now, as far as Bitcoin goes, Bitcoin's actually up. We had a really nice candle from $107,000 to $110,000. My Big Daddy Chad chart, we can see that we're trying to flip above $111,000 here. So we'll see what happens. Oh, thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate it. So, market's actually looking decent despite of some of the drama that we saw. And again, the morale is really down and that doesn't necessarily help. But Bitcoin's actually looking pretty strong. We just do need that flip back into this area here of about above like around 112,000. That would be good. Ethereum's currently above support here, 3,700, and trying to move its way up to about 4,000. Solana, $193. We love to see it. XRP is currently on its way up, not as much as Solana or Ethereum, but we've got a nice little gain over there. Chainlink is also trying to push back up to about really trying to flip above 1776. ADA, Cardano, we're at 65 cents, and we still really kind of need to get above 68 cents. And HBAR is doing its thing as well with probably the least amount of gains, even though we've got this really big volume candle. We do have some bullish news for hedera moving forward. So you guys will have to wait for that. Stick around for that. BNB is just kind of a monster. It's also trying to flip above $1,100 and sustain. Crazy candle over here. And then where did it go? Oh, dog. And this is our dog over here, right over here. Little minimal gains, but holding on to support. And we love the dog community. Wonderful people. Now let's get into this story over here. So crypto is finally growing up, says VC giant Horowitz. And this is probably a little bit important to cover over here as far as what crypto is doing, because it kind of gives you direction as to what's happening. So the key points from his appearance. Oh, no. Sorry, that's the wrong person. Crypto is finally growing up, says VC giant Horowitz. He says dev activity is rising, led by Ethereum and Solana. Again, we saw some drama with the Ethereum Foundation earlier this week, and I think that will minimize itself. Again, when you're running a foundation or you're running a business in general, you need to have... Queen is so funny. You need to have people that are talented in different aspects. Okay, I gotta have two people, and I feel like that's what the Ethereum Foundation is struggling with. Hopefully, they get it together. That would be good because a lot of people are relying on Ethereum. I need my $10,000 Ethereum, please. Anyways, stablecoin transaction exceed 9 trillion annually. And why stablecoins are so important right now is because that's what the regulators decided to focus on, was stablecoins initially, because, and again, to crypto, stablecoins were not as important as, the Genius Act was not as important as the Clarity Act to people in crypto, at least to me, but that needed to be done because of the Federal Reserve and because of the predatory third parties. That's exactly why it needed to be done. So therefore, that's why they kind of took it in. Yep. And congratulations to CZ from getting a pardon from Trump. I'm just curious to see if they're going to pardon SBF. I've got hot takes about that. We've talked about it on the show. It is what it is. But I don't even think CZ should have, I don't think CZ should have even really got in trouble. And a lot of people are like, well, he liquidated all these people, all this stuff. Well, if you were in America, you didn't get liquidated because you're not allowed to be on the platform. Anyways, but stablecoins came first. They came first. And because that's what the institutions want, the third parties. And even I see a lot of people saying, oh, Trump's going to get rid of the Fed. He's not really getting rid of the Fed. All they're doing is vertically integrating crypto, moving it all over. Anyways, but in this article, it also talks about regulation is normalizing, which is true. We've had positive comments from Hester Peirce, and we have positive comments. Oh, there's Raider. Good morning. And we've also had positive comments from Atkins, which is great. And this was the lesser of two evils that we saw. And if you guys want to make comments, you can. All you need to do really is, SEC allows you to make open comments. But in the article, he goes on to say crypto's maturing into a huge global market with growing institutional adoption. Stablecoins rival payments like payment giants like Visa and transactional volume. No, they don't. I definitely disagree with him there. I think it's just being absorbed and it's just being pushed over like this. DeFi and RWAs are growing, yes, but DeFi is going to be KYC'd. I think it was Raider that shared, he had shared something with me yesterday from the Trump, shout out to Doc, shared something from the Trump family. They have like this KYC, or they have this DeFi platform, but there's KYC with it. DeFi cannot operate with KYC. It's not DeFi, it's not decentralized. You can have disclosures. And again, you're still able to track people. That's the thing, is you are able to track people if you're good at reading blockchain analytics. And with the rise of AI and the rise of everything else that's going on in technologies, a public servant should be able to figure that out. Hell, the public servants can't even figure out how to stop fraud from happening on social media platforms, okay? And I don't like this color lipstick on camera. But it is what it is. AI and crypto governance is growing. Yeah, we just said that. Now let's get into some altcoin news because there's lots of exciting stuff. Avalanche. Avalanche active addresses and transaction milestones point to real chain usage, which is wonderful. We love to see that. It's always very important to actually have people using your chain. And Avalanche is one of those projects that's doing that. They're also in the running for spot ETFs. I think we covered like 100. We talked about the 155 that are potentially getting ready for approval. But apparently between October 13th and 19th, Avalanche saw all-time highs of 234 million transactions across 29.4 million active addresses. They peaked at 49.7 million October 19, which is a 12-month high, and the TVL is rising. So that means that people are using the ecosystem, they are gaming, they're using DeFi, and they're using other various applications there. Now, the HBAR announcement, which is really, really cool, was finally posted yesterday. But 250 million HBAR, 0.800 happy staking, which is freaking awesome. And I'm so happy that they did this. So Hedera funded the HBAR staking reward account, 250 HBAR worth 42 million, 5.4 billion HBAR is currently staked. That is 10.8% of the total supply. Nice. And the network is below 13% staking threshold set by the council. A full 2.5% annual staking reward rate is now active for stakers, which is 147 times increase in rewards from the previous rate. And I think that that's wonderful. It seems that it's something that the community wanted and people are excited. And also big shout out to Tata over on X for posting all this stuff. We get some of the information there, and we always credit people that we do. And also big shout out to Hashpack Wallet because they're so cute. Maybe they can send me some hash browns for my breakfast. No, I won't be having potatoes today. I actually have a cold, and I ate a plethora of potato chips with all this salt on it because I'm just not the best. And in addition to that, I freaking mosquito bites. I'm deathly allergic to mosquitoes. I've had to go to the hospital before. I've got a mosquito bite, so I can't even like wear what I wanted to wear. So I'm wearing this because it's kind of loose, but it's like I've got a mosquito bite up here on my side of my leg and my freaking ankles. And then my foot, on the other foot, I've got blisters from the event last week when I went to go see Lauren's Unbanked because I don't know why. I just got really bad blisters. So I'm just like a hot mess. So I got a cold and I can't wait to rest tonight. Next on the docket, Osprey Rex. Osprey files S1 for Solana ETF. So we're going to get another one. And I like the Solana ETFs because some of those do have staking. Absolutely love to see it. They're wonderful. Next, a little bit of some market updates. This is about a very, 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 back to the Osprey funds. They filed an S1 for Solana, and they have already applied for multiple crypto ETFs with and without staking with Rex shares. Trump, Move, Uni, Link, Litecoin, XLM, Aave, Atom, ENA, and then ETFs with staking will include Near, Sui, C, ADA, Avalanche, Dot, Tau, and Hype. Pump my bags, baby. I own quite a few of these. This is the wrong story, but that's okay. Hyperliquid. So Hyperliquid Strategies look to raise $1 billion to fund Hype treasury purchases. Cool. I'm happy for them. And also too, there's a little clippy clip over here. I'm not going to play this for you because I don't feel like it. But the Hyperliquid CEO said he believes Hyperliquid could become as big as finance as a whole. By finance, he means a coordination of human behavior. He says Hyperliquid won't displace finance, and he compared it to the early internet where tech stacks were updated. He said DeFi is that modern tech day stack. This is the only thing. And I do like hype, and it's something I totally missed investing in. So that's my bad. But I disagree with him here. And the reason why I disagree with him here is because DeFi is not really, I don't think DeFi is going to exist. I don't think it is. Good morning to Gamer. The reason why I don't think it's going to exist is because DeFi, it's decentralized. There should not be KYC. You can have disclosures, but you should not have to KYC. It doesn't work that way. Does not. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. But whatever it is, either way, they built a really great product. I'm happy for them. Also, back to the whole ETF thing. Eric B and Mr. Nate G, they're the ETF folks, but they said can't overstate significance of T. Rowe Price filing for an actively managed crypto ETF out of left field. He said they're quintessential legacy asset manager founded in 1937, which is crazy because that was during the whole SEC thing, when they have all the securities laws of 1930s and 1940s. Interesting timing, right? They manage 1.8 trillion in assets, but just got involved with ETFs in 2020. That's interesting that they waited until 2020, and now that they are hopping on the train for crypto ETFs. Some sources, including Decrypt, say will hold between 5 and 15 major cryptocurrencies. I would like to speculate that, you know, some of the top ones that are that I think will be included, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. Van Eck, mid-October 2025 Bitcoin chain check. Let's see what's going on here. So basically, they talked about Bitcoin's drop. They said Bitcoin's drop is a mid-cycle reset caused by liquidity and leverage normalization, not the start of a bear market. So that's good. Very, very good. Price closely follows global money supply, with Asian markets now leading price movements. That's good to know. That's good to know. Leverage is now at healthier levels after recent liquidation event. Miner debt increased over the past year due to investments and AI-related business shifts. And they're combining with Bitcoin, miners are combining with Bitcoin mining and with AI data centers to use electricity more efficiently and cut costs. On-chain activity remains strong, and mining difficulty and power consumption hits new highs. Global liquidity, leverage, and on-chain activity explain most of Bitcoin's price movements. Something that we really haven't talked about on this channel for a very, very, very long time is Bitcoin mining economics. Now, when we talk about Bitcoin mining economics, that encompasses a whole lot of things that I am not savvy in. I know that they're there. I know they're important. I know hash rate is important. I know profit taking is important, et cetera. And I know once they allowed people to start collateralizing their Bitcoin that they earn from mining instead of having to liquidate it, it changed things significantly. But Bitcoin mining economics is incredibly complex. I know John Germain knows about that because he's a miner. He knows all about all that stuff. But moral of the story is Bitcoin minings are super, super, super important. If you don't understand how those works and you can't use those to trade with Bitcoin, just stack them sats. That's okay. You don't have to understand how Bitcoin mining works. It's freaking nerdy and it's hard to understand. Not in a bad nerdy way. Not in a bad nerdy way. They're just smarter than I am at that. I was blessed with street smarts. I was blessed with street smarts. I was with the street smarts. Well, I had to earn those. It's another story, though. All right, more. So Tucker Carlson came out. I don't know if I could play this on YouTube or not, but he came out and he says that he's a hard no on Bitcoin, claiming it was created by the three-letter agency and calling himself a gold person. I fear it may become a scam run by the financial elites and politicians to tighten control over society. Nobody can tell me who Satoshi is. I grew up in a redacted family. So what's my take on this? In order to understand my take on this, we need to go to this story. Hold on, babies. Hold on. Trump administration in talks to take equity stakes in quantum computing firms. What does that mean? Let's think about it for a little bit. People are commenting, J Moss, on other socials because I just started live streaming on X. I built my platforms elsewhere for particular reasons, but we're streaming on X and we'll grow as time goes. This is only my third day streaming. The first day we did, I think, 6,800 views. Yesterday we did 9,800 views. And I think 20,000 impressions each. So we're doing pretty good. And I haven't really promoted it either. So, but back to the quantum computing and that type of stuff. Very interesting that the public servants are going to be getting involved in quantum computing stocks. And then Mr. Tucker comes out and says this. Do I agree with him? I don't know. Am I here to make as much money as ethically and legally as possible? Yeah. So I will be hedging. I will hold Bitcoin. I will hold whatever else I need to hold to make money. Just like everybody else, we're all just trying to get ahead in life, but there's a way you can do it the right way. Moral of the story is that things will get resolved. So I don't know if I agree with him or not, but I just think it's really, really interesting that the whole quantum computing thing came in, and he comes out and he says this. Could it have been used for, Trump's also talking at 3 p.m. EST today. Could it be used? Could that be the case with Bitcoin? Yeah, 100% it could. I wouldn't rule anything out. There's all sorts of things that just come out. Timp offered a membership to Tom. Congratulations, Tom. You're part of the O Army. So we'll see what happens with that. I don't know. I'll probably do a second video on it. I will. It'll be easier for me to articulate. All right. Really quickly, some politics. Oh, my daughter, I found this video of her yesterday saying, hot diggity shoot. She was like 2 or 3, and she was like FaceTiming with my sister. She was like, because I guess the tablet had taken a picture of, screenshotted itself or something. And she's like, hot diggity shoot. Hot diggity shoot. It was really cute though. Like super, super cute. And she's gonna be so cute for Halloween. She's all like cute. I love being a mama. It's my reason. So this is from Brendan Purderson. I don't know this person really well, but apparently there's a bunch of drama with the public servants. They're being ghetto. They're throwing it down. Why is Lineage struggling? Because the whole entire market, honey. Come on, honey. Oh, honey. It's all struggling. Let's go ahead and get through this. All right. So Dems meeting with crypto leaders on Capitol Hill got heated. Blue and red were fighting. The roundtable is aimed at restarting stalled bipartisan crypto negotiations legislation. Sources describe the meeting as tense and heated. Which, please, these people have other things to worry about outside of crypto, but go off, please. I digress. Mike Novogratz from Galaxy, the gentleman we referenced to about Bitcoin staying at 120 to 125,000 until the year, because remember, we're not going to get liquidity entering until the crypto ETFs get approved. And then, I don't know, gamer. I don't know. Nothing surprises me anymore. I don't trust any of the ivory towers. They're all ivory towers. I'm not trying to ruffle anybody's feathers, but at the end of the day, like I just can't blindly trust people. Oh no, Lawrence, go get that. Go fix that car. Go get that car situated. Yeah, I don't know. And all I know is that whatever. I know open source codes means it does. I mean, it doesn't matter who created it, but this is the thing. My issue is with all the spot ETFs and all of the traditional financial institutions coming in and the paper Bitcoin and all these things, it does make it less decentralized to an extent, because if you have a lot of people, if you have people with unlimited power or limited access to money, the money printer go that they can continue to buy and control a lot of it. When you have a finite asset, it could make it centralized to an extent. I don't care. I'm just here to make some money, take care of my baby. But either way, like, it is what it is. I might do a video. People probably get mad at me, but it's fine. I don't care. You got to grift along with those ivory towers, honey. But anyways, Novogratz said that he attended the meetings. He says they were constructive despite some venting. Both sides showed genuine interest in bipartisan legislation. Oh, okay. Emphasized the need for bipartisan approach in the industry. Expressed confidence in the market structure bill will pass. I hope so, because it's like ghetto at this point. But also SEC and CFTC target end of year milestone for crypto oversight amid government shutdown. Again, lots of other things going on, but this is priority. Acting CFTC chair, she's great. I think it's her. She's wonderful. Said listed spot crypto trading and tokenized collateral by end of the year. CFTC plans to regulate listed spot crypto trading and tokenized collateral. SEC wants safe harbors. Shout out to Hester Peirce for that. And innovation exemptions from crypto securities, and government shutdown is slowing both agencies' work. It is. Goal is clear rules on what counts as security and harmonized oversight. And then the folks from KRAKEN, they went in there and they were standing up. They said consumers should choose how to earn yield, not be limited to banks. Good for you, KRAKEN CEO Dave Ripley. We appreciate you. And on that note, I got to go because almost 30 minutes. It is 30 minutes. People on YouTube won't watch the video now. Anyways, I got a video dropping for you at 2 p.m. PT, so go watch that. Thank you to everybody watching me on YouTube, on TikTok, on all the platforms. And thanks to this channel members. But I need to eat. I'm actually really, really hungry. Bye, babies.